lesson unlocked. Once you do enough things, you realize what it takes to do anything, right? So then you have a better appreciation, more focus, you get more in tune with your decisions and more dialed in of like, all right, it needs to be this particular way. Why? Because it's just not worth it any other way. So you get more particular, you become a better negotiator with yourself and with others because you know what's worth it and what's not and what you're willing to sacrifice for. And that was the unlock. I just talked with Tyler about Zeus and the shorts, and he's been on my back for the past 3 or 4 years on like, I need to post content every single day. And like, he does post content every single day, but then I always tell him like, no, quality over quantity. But then that allows me to, it's an excuse that allows me to not post. So then I have to be careful not to let my pride get in the way, of not posting for reasons of the video not performing. I have to be careful of my perfection getting in the way, right? Because, if it's never gonna be perfect, and who am I to worry about a perfect content, right? But on the flip side, I do want to have some type of, I want to be proud of what I post. Like I want it to be something worth being proud of, not prideful about. There's a difference there. And then as well, I want it to be something that is not perfect, but at least closer to perfection. I don't want to just post random BS, right? So then, because, if I just post every single day, well then what's it all for? And then as well, is that allowing me to continue this kind of these subpar habits, right? Prime example is if I run a mile every day, but I'm just waiting until 11 p.m., then how am I any better than when I began? I've adopted the consistency, but I might as well be consistent, walking outside and touching the same tree every single day, right? At a certain point, you have to ask, why do I do this every single day? Well, it's to get better. Well, I'm consistent, but I'm consistently average. Okay, let me be consistently great. Well, what does that take? Well, what is the greatest picture of a runner? Well, it's not just running for the sake of it. It's running to train for something, right? Or to get better at health. So running to focus on the score, the health benefits, the physique that you have. Maybe it's actually signing up for a race every single couple months. That way you have this thing there that you're training for, but then you're putting it to test. You're not just a runner, but now you're like, I'm a runner and I'm putting it to test. I'm making sure I still got what it takes. I'm sharpening myself up all the time. I'm staying sharp because there's actual stakes to these things. Well, then you wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. instead of me waking up at 11 o'clock today, right? Gosh, like now you have a reason. I've got to get up in the morning and run because I got to run before work. Well, why do I have to run before work? Well, because, I've got to provide for my family and I've got to, set an example and get an early start, and I have to run before because if I don't run before, then it's not happening, right? Or it's happening subpar. So to do things at the level that I want to do them, it's got to be early in the morning. It's got to be the first thing that I do. Okay, well, after a certain number of commitments in all areas of your life, now you've built out a really solid life path. It's a healthy life path. It pulls the best out of you. You become the best version of yourself because you're requiring more out of yourself, not just consistency of doing something every day in an average way, consistently average, but instead consistently pursuing growth, consistently pursuing something bigger. So then the biggest unlock for me is I know I need to post every single day, but there's got to be a reason behind it. For Tyler, he's able to post every single day and there's no consequence to him because he already has a monetary system built. There's no consequence in the sense of immediate gratification, or no, not immediate gratification, but immediate resource necessitation, whatever the word is I'm looking for, right? He already has resources, so he's able to do these daily posts and he doesn't see the effect of the negative posts. Versus when I do daily posts and they don't do well, if it doesn't do well, and that's directly tied to my income because my social media posts are the way that I make money, well then I do see the negative results to those actions. That's another thing is that I was talking with my buddy Quinn yesterday in the car, driving back from Run Club. Actually, no, I was driving back from a meeting that I had all day with entrepreneurs down in Atlanta about starting Zeus and about this girl who's starting her company and all these lessons from this big founder and co-founders in Atlanta. Talking with my buddy Quinn, he just finished up the book Wealth of Nations. We're talking about labor and stuff like that. And oh man, in all that explanation, I just lost the point that I was trying to make. Let me pause and think. Dang it. I'm gonna have to pause. I'm gonna have to go watch this. Let me watch it real quick. Hold up. I messed up. I was trying to speak fluidly at the cost of grasping those ideas, right? And so I lost the idea that I was gonna say about my buddy Quinn. But we had a great conversation in the car, and we were saying something. But anyways, back to the whole conversation about the daily content. I had this unlock with Tyler just now, where he doesn't see the consequences. I do. We have different attitudes on how we post. Oh, that's what it was with Quinn. It's escaping me. There we are. Thank you, God. Attributing more to our personal qualities than to the situation. That's what we were talking about. A lot of tech founders, CEO companies, whatever, you know what I mean. .com bubble, AI bubble, they attribute more to the qualities of their business in getting funding, in the funding that they've gotten, right, than to the situation that AI bubbles are popular. And then other people study these in history and they think that, oh, AI companies are profitable. We should go make our own AI company. The downside of that is they're attributing more to the personal qualities of the company or of the person than they are to the situation, right? The bubble is what allows these massive valuations, right? The real value is not being produced from these AI companies. It's just hoping to be produced. And then people are just pumping money into it because they're following a trend, or they just think that, that's the hive mentality, the sheep, the herd. It's like, okay, everyone's going there, so we got to go there too, right? But that's not always the best. Right? Usually it's not the best. Usually when everyone's going, it's too late. Okay, so then there's got to be the massive unlock that I had with my buddy Tyler on the phone just now was I can commit. I can go all in on these things, right? I ran a marathon every week for a year with God's strength, on God's strength. Like, thank you, God, for, giving me the confidence to do that every single week. I did a marathon every day in 7 days. Thank you, God, for setting that situation up, right? When there's an adequate reason, my whole body conspires to make this thing happen. Every ounce of my being, every fiber, every, cell in my brain, boom, I'm wired to do stuff like that. It just happens, right? I think that's like the main skill of a man, properly oriented under God, is able to do things unimaginable because every fiber of his being can be poured into this one thing, and that focus, that power, that energy, it's like the tip of a pencil, right? It's, the edge of a knife. It slices, it cuts, right? When I go all in, I've already proven that I can make things happen. I just have to have an actual reason, because it is so expensive in terms of resources for me to do the things that I do that it doesn't make sense to commit to just anything. And so I'm getting a lot more selective with what I commit to. The benefit of that is that I will see bigger reward, but on a longer time horizon. I'm looking down because I gotta be careful. Like I gotta think through these ideas. I gotta be able to say them fluidly, right? That's why I was closing my eyes a couple seconds ago. So me not posting every single day is not about me not posting. It's that I could post every single day, but for what? What's the reason? Because I've learned these skills about how to go viral, how to tell a story, how to, get a ton of attention. But for what? What's the purpose? It doesn't benefit me monetarily. And ultimately, I'm not driven by money, but I need to have a focus on it in some sort, or else I run out of resources and I die, right? Not truly, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm out of the game. In metaphorical sense, I'm taken out of the game, right? I'm dead to the game if I don't have resources. So then, especially because what I do is just so intensive. And it's what's needed in the world. We don't need more people posting day in the life videos or showing up to Run Club or come train with me, right? Those are good. And, you'll get here and there creators who are able to do it well because they have a nice personality and interesting stories. But ultimately, if you see that and you're like, okay, that's what's successful, the bar is low, I can go make that content. We don't need more of that. There's already enough of that. We need more people pioneering on the edge, on the frontier, We need more explorers. I'm an explorer. I go out into unknown. I figure it out, right? I go into the unknown. I forage. I look for the places that no one's explored before, and I just go in. And so then that's where I am. And when I have that reason, I can do anything, with God's love pouring through me. So then, okay, so the massive unlock. Here we go. What was it? I've got to drive this content that I'm posting, if it's on a daily, weekly, whatever cadence, to something that makes money. Because when I'm at that point, now I have all the energy in the world. It benefits me. I can actually stay in this whole process. It makes sense. It's better for the world. I'm providing a service, like more than just entertainment. Boom. I've made something that's long lasting. I've made something that's, you see what I mean? It's cascading effects. So I'm going to start making videos, telling people's story about when they ran a marathon, editing the footage together, going on a run with them, making them a pair of shorts, saying who they're running for, and sewing in on the side of the shorts the ribbon that they got at the marathon that they ran. That's it. That's my content for Zeus, for my personal account. If I do that well enough, I'm the only one who does it. My competitive advantage is that it's hard to tell a story. It's hard to promote ideas like that. It's hard to make a design for shorts. It's hard to not just sell any, blank sweatshirt, right? All this stuff that's over here that's been sent to me from companies. Prime example, it's hard not to do what they've done, where they just print it a million times over and then just send it out to everyone and then just hope that it sells. And it does, right? Because they have just enough money, 51% more than the ads they spend, right? Just like a little bit more to where the profit margin makes sense. But I can't do that. That's not me. I want to change the world. I'm not like other content creators. I'm not like other brands. I'm a child of God. I want to renew the world. I want to do things that are meaningful. There's a purpose to the actions. Wyatt lived a valiant life. He did something that actually changed the world. Boom. It doesn't have to be Wyatt. Whoever this was, whoever did all these things, man, I'm so grateful for them. Or how about this? No one ever is grateful for whatever I do in my life, right? Because they don't have to be. Because life is just like, how many things do we just take for granted that we're not grateful for on the day-to-day life, that were sacrifices of men and women for thousands of years? That's what I'm saying. It's like, as long as life can live on after me, okay, I don't have to be rewarded for it, but I've done my job. And if we all did that, boom, maybe we could do a little bit more than that. Maybe it could be like life lives on and it's for a reason and it's with a purpose and it's with a hope and it's, expanding. It's the Jacob's ladder. It goes up into to heaven on earth, right? But yeah, I gotta go run. I've done 2 marathons in 2026, year of the marathon, baby. Let's ride. I have done the Mobile Marathon, and I've done the Louisiana Marathon, and I'm doing the Miami Marathon this weekend. This is a ring that I made. I really like it. It's a sine wave, right? Turned into a circle. It's kind of like completion. There's 6 of these like little waves, 3 up, 3 down. And it's one whole thing. It's kind of like 6 days of creation. On the 7th day, God rested. It's like the whole world. The sine wave's like, completion. It's like cycles. It's, I don't know. There's a lot packed into this. It's an Ouroboros. It's a snake, right? A snake eating its own tail. The squiggly line is like the snake. And then it's like, the Ouroboros is the snake that eats its own tail. And it's the Mobius strip. It's the infinity. It's such a cool thing, dude. So much packed in here. I like it a lot, Thank you, God. That is a custom silver ring for Zeus, the shorts brand. The whole idea with Zeus is move. Get out there, move. So I'm going to go run a marathon in all 50 states again this year. I'm going to celebrate some runners by making their stories into a pair of shorts that they get to wear so they're reminded of why they're running, what they're running for. And then they can collect these shorts and these memories and start building something for themselves, a source of confidence in the things that they've done. And maybe after doing that for a long enough time, they start realizing what's worth taking on, right? It sharpens their decisions and their life path. And now they've actually made room to start thinking about things that are greater than this life. And then, their heart is in a position to be open to Jesus. Boom. Check. If I can do that, even just a fraction of that, not only would I love it, right? I'd be so cool to wear a pair of shorts like that. I'm running this marathon for my mom. I'm running this marathon for my sister who's having a baby. I'm running this marathon for whatever. Like, that'd be so cool. Run the shorts or run the marathon, come back. Now that you've run it, sew in the medal on the side, right, the ribbon. So cool. Sue Shorts, move. Right? I've got to go lift. Keep the streak alive. 23 days in a row. Wow. January 23rd. I've got to go run. Who knows what the streak was looking like there? I think it's like 870 something days of running every single day. I'm going to get better. I'm going to pursue. Now that I have a reason to wake up, I'm going to wake up in the morning. Of course, I got to wake up to go fly down to Miami, and I got to wake up to run the marathon the next day. But after that, like, I'm going to get to bed early so I can wake up on time, I'm still going to get my 10 hours of sleep. I'm just going to go to bed earlier so that I can wake up earlier and read in the morning and commit to the things that will allow me to have a productive life. And I'm going to get ahead of things. I'm going to start preparing. I'm going to show up and I'm going to have a gift for people. I'm going to know their name. I'm going to shake their hand. I'm going to know their story. They don't have to fill me in. Like, I know who you are, I'm going to come with ideas and with value for them. I'm going to start living my life ahead of schedule, right? Boom. It's so cool. Let's do this. Why not us?